Hello students, this is my third and concluding video on poetic devices. In my previous videos, I talked about 10 poetic devices, which are simile, metaphor, personification, transferred epithet, alliteration, oxymoron, hyperbole, synecdoche, repetition, and paradox. In this video, I have taken euphemism, anaphor, imagery, and irony. After the definition and examples of these four devices, I'll take each poem of your syllabus to show all these 14 devices used at different places. So let's start with the first one, that is euphemism. This device is very interesting. We normally use this device in our expressions, but maybe we are not familiar with the term euphemism. When unpleasant facts are presented in a pleasant form, this is called euphemism. We have been using such expressions. Dearly departed or passed away instead of died. Normally we say he passed away or he departed, dearly departed, and we do not speak died. So this use is called euphemism. Pregnancy terminated instead of abortion. This is better option. Pregnancy terminated is better use than abortion. Economical with the truth instead of liar. If you call someone liar, certainly he will retaliate. But if you say you have been economical, he may be amused. Now, when you use such expressions, you can say that you are using euphemism. Next device is anaphor. When a certain word or phrase is repeated at the beginning of sentence or clause that follows each other, this use is called anaphor. Actually, this repetition is done to emphasize certain expressions and sometimes to add rhythm to the lines to make them more memorable and enjoyable. See the example. Lockdown was the worst of times. It was the time of confinement. It was the time of hopelessness and distress. It was the time of recreating ourselves. It was the time of self-introspection. To some, it was a blessing in disguise as well. You can see these two words, it was, have been repeated just to emphasize the word lockdown. Another example, you better be nice to my students. You better let them study and you better go away. This is also use of anaphor. Next device is imagery. This is also very simple, very ordinary device. Ordinary means that can be understood very easily. When poets and authors represent objects, actions and ideas in such a way that it appeals to our physical and mental senses. Let me simplify it. When poets and authors simply create a kind of pen picture, pen image in your mind through certain expressions, through certain words, this is called imagery. See the example. The chirping of birds heralded spring. When you read this sentence, chirping of birds, you imagine the chirping of birds. The dead silence in the room was unnerving. Dead silence. You simply reach there. You imagine dead silence. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. You must have read this sentence somewhere. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Miles to go before I sleep. Yes, you must have heard this sentence. This sentence is from the immortal poem of Robert Frost, Stopping by Woods in a Snowy Evening. This is also imagery. Next device is irony. When real meaning is exactly the opposite of that which is literally conveyed or expected, it is called irony. There are mainly three types of ironies: verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony. But you remember one word, irony. See the example. A pilot has a fear of height. Pilot is never expected to have fear of height. This is ironical situation. A status on Facebook reads, how useless Facebook is. Means to criticize Facebook, the Facebook platform is being used. This is also ironical. I'll take each poem of your syllabus to show all the devices I have taught. Starting from the first poem, that is my mother at 66. See, there are 5 devices. Similarly, her face ashen like that of a corpse. As a late winter's moon, comparison is there using the word like and as. Personification, young trees sprinting. Trees are personified here. Alliteration, my mother beside me, mark the underlined sounds, mother, me, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood fear, felt familiar fear. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. Repetition, all I did was smile, smile and smile. Imagery, doors open-mouthed, her face that of a corpse, young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. They all are images created in the poem. Next poem, you can see 5 devices are there. Similarly, like rootless weeds, like bottle bits on stones that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Metaphor, sealed in with a lead sky, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes, where skin peeped through by bones and spectacles of steels. They all are metaphors. Alliteration, spectacles of steel, spectacle and steel. Repetition, break, oh break, open till they break the town. Next poem, that is Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. You can see 6 devices are there in this poem. Alliteration, sudden strangeness, clean clothes. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. This is transferred epithet. Quality is being transferred here. Irony, when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Euphemism, no truck with death. No truck with death. Here, poet means to say that his idea of keeping quiet should not be associated with death. Paradox, victory with no survivors, and synecdoche, on the face of the earth. See the next poem, that is A Thing of Beauty. See the alliteration here, a flowery band to bind us to the earth, of noble natures of the gloomy days. From our dark spirit, such the sun, the moon, that for themselves a cooling covert make. Mark the underlined sounds. They all are alliteration. Metaphor, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirit. An offer, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. This is anaphora, repetition of these 2 words of the. Next is imagery, flowery band, shady boon, clear rills. They all are images in the poem. Next poem, a roadside stand. You can see 3 devices are there. Personification first. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled. Roadside stand here is personified. Transferred epithet, the polished traffic passed with a mind ahead of all the 1,000 selfish cars. Selfish cars, polished traffic. They are transferred epithet. Alliteration and oxymoron, you see. Beneficent beast of prey, greedy good doers. I have already talked all these expressions in my previous videos. So beneficent beast, alliteration and oxymoron as well. Greedy good doers, alliteration and oxymoron. Pathetically pled, alliteration only. Now the last poem of his syllabus, and Jennifer's Tigers. See the alliteration here. Sleek, chivalric certainty, finger fluttering, prancing proud, transferred epithet. Her terrified hands. Hands are terrified, not person. Quality is being transferred here. Imagery. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz of a world of a green. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wools. They all are images created in the poem. See the irony here. Hands will lie still, ringed with ordeals. The tiger will go on, proud, prancing, and unafraid. Dear students, now you are equipped with 14 poetic devices. They are sufficient for your board examination. Other than these devices, some more devices are there like compare, contrast, symbols, etc. I did not include them in my videos as they are very common. While explaining the poems, every teacher talks about these common devices. So I thought separate definitions and examples of these devices are not required, but they cannot be overlooked. If I talk about compare, contrast and symbols, last poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers is the best example. We can see the contrasting qualities of Aunt Jennifer and tigers. Aunt is timid, afraid, fluttering, and the tigers she is making are proud, unafraid and prancing. The poetess here compares the contrasting qualities of Aunt Jennifer's husband and tigers. Yes, compares the contrasting qualities of Aunt Jennifer's husband and tigers. The tigers who live in jungle, though not expected, but they are cultured, described as sleek, chivalric certainty. But her husband, who belongs to a cultured society, is quite uncultured, a kind of beast, as he masters his wife. Ring and wedding band are the symbols used in the poem. They are also to be noted. Dear students, hope I have been successful in teaching you these devices. See you in my next video on any other topic. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring new things. Thanks for watching.